Okay, a few announcements before this video. First, our Safe Harbor Outdoors fish camp video should be launching tonight. Maybe later this week, we're going to get the Darton Tritech, and maybe the Darton Consequence 2. I'm not sure what they named the new one. But we should be getting those two bows either this weekend, maybe early next week. We're giving Ryan an opportunity to get used to them and learn about them before we go pick them up. So a couple videos coming that you can be looking forward to here in the very near future. Today's video is going to be a 50-yard cold practice session. So cold shots 50 yards from my saddle setup. And then we're going to try a couple different angles of shots. So we're going to try the 11 o'clock angle shot, and we're going to try the 6 o'clock, which is a drop shot. We're going to try a couple different things in this practice session and catch it on video for you guys. Because there's one thing to stand here broadside nice and even. It's another thing to have to catch an animal, at a different angle and get drawn down and shoot when they're not necessarily at your strongest shooting side in a saddle. So let's get to it. All right, let's go check these shots out. I can tell you they went off to the left. I wasn't real happy with them. Definitely not as good of shooting with this bow as it was with my Hoyt, but it's getting there. See, they're off to the left. I'm not sure why, but not a bad group. I have one flyer, but I'm aiming at this area, obviously. I'm aiming at this area, obviously, so definitely not what I wanted. But we're going to change positions and try some other positions just to demonstrate. But yeah, not feeling it today. I mean, not a bad group, but it's not what I'm expecting. Getting ready to go out of state on a hunt. Thank God I got a couple weeks to tighten this up a little bit. All right, so now we're going to try this. We're going to try that 11 o'clock shot, and I like this because now I can turn. I can be turned, kind of leaning into the tree, and using the tree to also cut my silhouette and movement down to anything that's coming from, from my right to left. Obviously, I'd be on a bigger tree in a hunting scenario. This is what I have on the archery range here. The tough one's going to be the drop shot we're going to do in a minute. There we go. Still a touch left, but I mean that's clearly a lot better than the other ones were. So now we turn around and try a drop shot. All right, so now we're going to get hooked up and try a drop shot. And this might be difficult on such a small tree. So this is gonna be an example of a shot for an animal that's at your 6 o'clock. Keep in mind, you even in a tree suit or camouflage, you're still going to have to mask your movements. Your animal's going to have to be behind something when you make your movements. They're going to have to head behind a tree or something of that nature, because in a tree suit, you're not going to look like a 200-pound squirrel in a tree. You're going to look like danger to them. So just be mindful. Like, you can't just pop around the tree either to the front or to your rear and take a shot. You're going to have to make sure that their eyes are covered. Walking behind a bigger tree or whatever, and you get in position and then get drawn and take your shot. You got to have patience. That's the hardest thing about being a bow hunter, is you got to have a lot more patience than you do when you're hunting with a shotgun or a rifle. So not good. I'm gonna try Try tightening up my tether, see if it gives me a better position. I can tell you they weren't good. The last one was. The other two, not so much. I mean, you can see that first one. It's I mean, you might come home with that deer. I don't know, but that one's about 3 inches to the right. Maybe, yeah, about 3 inches to the right of where I want it. This one, it's maybe an inch off to the right. But it's all right. Having a bad practice session is not a bad thing. Sometimes it just gives us a better glimpse into the reality of things that we need to be doing. We need to focus on as we get ready for hunting season or for specific hunt. So I know the broadside shot or the strong side shot. It's not a bad shot for me. Shooting to the front's not a bad shot for me, but doing that drop shot, to the rear is going to be a tough one. So that's what I'll practice on. I'll focus my practice on now, doing that backside shot, working on my form with that. And next we're going to do the offside shot or offhand shot and see how bad that's going to be. So we are set up for the offhand shot, and the way I'm going to execute this is I'm actually going to turn backwards on my platform with my tether, bring my bridge up across my chest, and I'll have my back to the tree. And it's this is probably the most unpleasant version of shooting out of a saddle that you can do, but at least for me, of course, it could be much worse than the drop shot or 6 o'clock shot. Now, if you're like me, I sit pretty I keep my tether about forehead level, and then my ascender will be about 5 or 6 inches away from it. This is a pretty comfortable position for me. Go to this rope, and then what you do is I grab a hold above my ascender, and work my body into a position where I can get up against the tree. Now I have a clear shot to the target. And like I said, this is the most difficult one to get in position for. So your animals are going to have to be either distracted or have their head, behind a tree or something. So if you got some kind of vegetation, some dense vegetation, like we have some pocosin down here, you get a lot of vegetation in that, and sometimes you'll have area of grass that's waist high, and it'll have patches of this pocosin that'll be head high in it. So you let them get worked behind something like that, and then make your turnaround as smoothly and quietly as you can. Don't rush it. Don't think about being fast. Think about being just deliberate and getting turned around as quietly as possible. That way, if you can get turned around, now that animal's in a position for you. So that first shot went really low. Left and right, it's perfect. We'll do this again. Sometimes the best shot you can take is no shot. Meaning that, if you release an arrow that you don't feel confident in, you may wound something, you may miss. You may miss bad, like hit something that you didn't intend to, like a leg. So sometimes the best shot's the one you don't take. We'll have to go check it out. We'll take another one just for good measure. Last shot from the offhand side. Felt a lot better. The first one I dropped out the bottom on it, but the other two felt better. Well, I guess I was wrong. It was horrible. So I know I got a lot of work if I want to shoot 6 o'clock and drop shot. I mean, you know, the 6 o'clock drop shot or the offhand shot. Oh man, yep, lots of work to do. And this is one of those times where, you know, it's good to have a bad day of practice because it makes me realize some things. And the first of those things can be, I'm gonna have to turn that darting down. My shoulder just can't handle. It's just not ready to draw that weight yet. It's just a lot. At 2 pounds more, it just feels a lot more difficult than my Hoyt. And I didn't have any of those problems with the Hoyt, so I'm gonna turn the darting down, make it a little bit easier to draw, and see if I can clean the shooting up. So I still got 2 weeks to get ready for Iowa, so nothing I'm going to fret. Both bows are tuned. I'm shooting lasers. It's just I'm having a little bit of a hard time drawing this darting, more so than normal. So turn it down, maybe half turn or a full turn, and I'll re-engage these practices, especially the drop shot and the offhand shot. Anyway, that's how it goes. And as always, if you're in Eastern North Carolina, you're looking for archery products, you're looking for bow hunting products, go see Ryan at Eastern. Great ambassador to a sport. Always willing to take the time to help people get set up, get in the outdoors. God bless. Stay safe. Shoot straight. Happy hunting.